everybody?
It says that we've got 11 people in here already. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And only 5 thumbs up. So if you guys don't mind, take a second to hit that thumbs up. It really helps YouTube promote our channel and put it out there for more people. So the thumbs up is free and it's quick and easy, and we really appreciate it if you guys do that for us. So, yeah, we're not used to coming into our live and already having people in here.
Yeah, no kidding. It's always like me is the only one in the live.
And we're like, I
she's
guess
talking to me for like 5 minutes before anybody even shows up.
Yeah. And can you guys hear us okay? We're in the car with the air conditioner on. And because it's hot outside. And the kids are inside working on homework and stuff right now. We don't want to bother them. So, hey, Neil. Hey, Cora. Hey, Pam. So I guess I'm going to have to take my sunglasses off because I can't see well enough to see comments.
Can't read the
Yeah, I can't read the comments. So, yeah. How's everybody doing today?
I am,
we're just going to be talking about whatever because I don't really think we have.
We don't have a whole lot on schedule to talk about, so you guys have any questions, anything to say, anything you want us to answer, let us know. We're actually at home in Oklahoma right now, so not anything exciting other than the fact that I guess if you've watched our videos, you've seen,
that we will be moving to Arkansas.
We made a purchase, so
if it weren't for my back surgery in September, we'd probably have already moved.
Probably be started on it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of stuff to get done around here before we can move, really. A lot of loose ends to tie up and things like that. I don't know why my comments ain't coming up. Yours is.
You probably don't have it on all comments. You just have it on top messages instead of all messages.
Oh.
So Wiley's not seeing
Oh,
it.
hey, that's what it is.
Yeah. Thanks, Cora. Hey, Lori, how are you? Sorry if we've missed saying hello to anybody in here. We're not used to coming in and having people in here already. And I can't see, all I can see is when somebody says something, it pops up on my screen, but it goes away really fast. So, but Wiley has his phone open, so we're kind of...
Well, hello, Thomas, and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, from Michigan.
Hopefully we can keep you entertained. So, Pam, yes, it is going to be...
Uh-oh. That's weird.
Actually, you know what?
What?
I think we just run out of gas.
Are you serious? Oh, man. Good thing we're sitting in our own driveway instead of out on the road somewhere, but golly.
Hi, T.
Okay, yeah, it seems like everybody's moving to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our move is going to be, yes, it's going to be a little at a time. Right now, I'm in the process of making a video for my channel on working with Wiley, where we had our sawmill mounted permanently here in the yard, and we
didn't really expect to have to move it.
Yeah, no. So I'm building a trailer right now to get my sawmill to make it mobile. That's going to be step one. As soon as I get it mobile, we have a lot of other little things to tie up and, stuff like that. And her surgery is really going to determine everything. So depending on how quick she recovers from her surgery is when we will be packing up and heading that way.
Yeah. Hi, Emma. You're a new face. I'm trying not to interrupt Wiley while he's talking, but I'm also, I didn't miss your comment. I did see you. I think someone said they're from Iowa. Let's see. Wiley has control of the comments. So T McD. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hello, T McD. Trish, I think we've said hi to you already. James,
hi, James.
Oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, so we are super duper excited about our move to Arkansas, and we really wish that we could take the leap now and just start doing it. But as we've said multiple times, I have surgery in September, and so we'll have to see. I'll probably be down for 6 to 8 weeks after that, and so there's not going to be a whole lot happening during that time because I'm going to have physical therapy 3 times a week. And so we're not going to be able to take trips to Arkansas during that 6 to 8 week period, or I won't. I'll have to be here.
The biggest issue with all this is going to be is trying to get things, we've got, like the sawmill, a lot of tools and things that need moved, but getting them over there and them being safe over there while we're back over here, trying to get that whole logistical thing all worked out is going to be really a pain.
Yeah, because it's only 3.5 hours from where we are now, which isn't really that far. Yes, James, we are very, very blessed. Since we've found each other, Wiley and I have really tried hard to pray about everything and follow God and let Him lead us. So we're feeling led to go there because we feel like we can contribute a lot to that community. So yeah.
The problem is was it who was just said that? Trish, yeah, you're right. But there's a lot of things I can't do without her. She is, I don't know how to explain it, but the backbone of a lot of things I do. So
I've got it's because I'm there cracking that whip, I gotta keep him focused. I'm just joking. I don't really do that.
Yeah, she does. Don't let her play it off.
Hey, Billy, how are you?
So yeah, we are in the middle of, I've already been out here sweating this morning working on this sawmill, getting it moved, getting it mounted on a trailer. Go over working with Wiley, and we should have videos coming out pretty soon on that.
Best Buy has had our computer for 2 weeks. They had it for 2 weeks and then sent it back to us, and the problem wasn't fixed. And then we had to take it back, and now they've had it another 2 weeks. So I'm trying to do all this editing and stuff on my phone, and it's a lot more time consuming. So just be patient with us. Yeah, the brains and the brawn, right? Yep.
I don't know how to say that. Rach?
Is it Rach?
Rach Perez. Hi, Rach. If
Hi,
that's your name.
From California. Where are you at in California? I have family that my dad and my sister live up I don't know, near Truckee, but they don't live around Truckee, but Rach. Okay,
Rach,
yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
So Pam, that's possible. The expense of all that is going to be another thing. We're, trying to do this on as small a money as we can.
So our on YouTube.
Oh, you're on 29 Palms.
Our audience isn't large enough for us to actually make enough money. I think we've made it like $100 in the last, I don't know, since like January.
Yeah.
We have not made any money off of YouTube in a long time. So we're really we're self-employed here. We just do kind of odd jobs for people, and usually we use that money to fund our nonprofit organization, our mission to feed the hungry. We're very passionate about food and sharing it with others, but this kind of changes all of that, and so
the dynamics of everything we do is going to change for a while.
Yeah. So we'll put out another video about that specifically. I think that's actually going to be our next video that might come out tomorrow, is talking a little more in depth about our Feeding the Hungry program and things like that, because a lot of you who followed us from the beginning know our big hearts and know that we love helping others, and are probably wondering what's going to happen when we are not here anymore to do that. So we'll be talking about that actually on the next video.
Yes, Pam, it is going to be within actually probably 15 minutes of most of our family. So that is a possibility. We also have a 40-foot shipping container here. It's just the logistics of getting it over there is going to be the issue. And the thing is if somebody wants in one of those bad enough, they're going to get in it. I mean, I drove a truck for a lot of my life, and I mean, I was sitting in the middle of Detroit up at Cattleman's one time and was unloading up there, and woke up in the middle of the night about 3 o'clock in the morning, looked behind me, and the truck sitting behind me, there was people out there with sawzalls cutting holes in the side of his trailer, carrying meat out. So I've been there, and I know if they want it bad enough, they're going to get into it no matter what. So
yeah.
I guess it's really the babysitting, trying to get stuff over there and have it babysitted while we're over here, back and forth. That whole thing's going to be a logistical nightmare, I think, for us.
Yeah. Hi, Jackie boy. How are you? He come in while you were on your rant.
Oh, okay.
And Tim Piles too. Welcome.
Oh yeah, welcome.
Tim said he said congratulations, and I'm a big time probably subscriber to you. Appreciate what you do and love you. God be with you. Yep.
Thanks, Tim.
I wish I was able to help y'all. Right now, impossible with a hurt shoulder, and I am a truck driver myself when not hurt.
Oh wow.
Wiley was a truck driver for a long time.
I drove truck cross country for 21 years. Owned my own company for probably 15 of that, and whenever I sold out, I had 6 trucks on the road. So I've been there. I know.
Holy cow, there's 43 people in here on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm so glad you guys can come hang out with us today. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, it's gonna be, we have a lot of stuff here that we want to take with us, that we can use there. So there's gonna be a lot of trips back and forth.
Who was that?
Been out here since 2008. Hi, Carrie.
Oh, is that Carrie? Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
That was I seen that, but I couldn't read it on there. So right now we've got a 2006 Chevy extended cab pickup that's it's having some issues. I think we need a new fuel pump for it. Last year the fuel pump went out. I bought the cheapest one I could find just to get us by.
Because that's all we had the money for, was the very cheapest one, and here we are a year later, and it's running funny.
I do have a 30-foot gooseneck. We've got a 20-foot flatbed trailer. We've got a little enclosed trailer we just purchased.
We've got a small horse trailer.
So
we got trailers.
We can haul some stuff, but it's right now I've got to figure out what's going on for sure with this this pickup of ours.
I'm not sure how good it is, but Hunter likes it. It's delicious.
Okay. Emily made blondies. I mean, it's kind of a blondie pile of blondies. But the kids like to cook, so they're always making treats. I'm gonna let this cool off for a minute.
Sugar biscuits.
Sugar biscuits. That's
biscuits.
what brother called them. Okay. Anyway.
So yes, we haven't really decided yet on. Hey, is that Raquel? Hi, Raquel.
Is it? Oh,
it's been a day or two since we've seen you.
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
So, yes, or no, or whatever. We haven't decided yet on as far as what we're going to do as far as renting out, selling. We don't want to get rid of this property if we don't have to.
Just because we have lots of kids. So it could always be a place for someone to go when they need it.
Yeah.
And having extra land, they're not making any more of it. So if we can get by without selling this place, that would be ideal. Krista,
hey! Matter of fact, that lady right there is, we've been...
Probably our future renter.
Yeah, so. Probably going to be a future renter.
But you still got to come by and see us, Krista, and talk to us about it. So, yeah. From Sandwich, Illinois, Stephen Carlson. Hi, Stephen. How are you? Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
There's a dust flying everywhere.
So, yeah. Anyway.
So, yeah, we have a lot to do. Our house here isn't finished. I mean, we got to the point where it was comfortable and livable, and then it's been on the back burner for a while. No, they are not our only kids.
Yeah, no. We have 9 kids between us.
Yeah.
Now,
It's a Brady Bunch scenario. Yeah.
all my kids are 18 or over, so they're all out and gone. We have an 18-year-old here.
He just turned 18.
And then the 3 that you've seen on the video are the younger 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which are 14, 12. Actually, Hunter will be 13 in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So Emily just turned 14. Hunter's about to turn 13. And Lily's 8. Hey, Jody.
Hi, Jody.
How are you? So yeah, right now, currently, we own 6.5 acres in central Oklahoma. We live in a tiny house, shed to house conversion. It's 12 by 40, and we live in there with 4 kids.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, Cora, exactly. It's all going to work out. We're not worried about it.
James said something you can take care of while I'm down. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
I'm not either. Did we miss a comment? What's that right there?
He said been out here since 2008.
Oh.
James, are you in Arkansas?
But yeah, Cora, I mean, it's going to be a logistical nightmare, but we can handle it. It's not, and because we're not selling this place right away, it's not going to be a big deal, especially if we have a friend living here,
Yeah.
To help us take care of what we can't move right away.
The worst thing we could do is leave the house empty.
Yeah.
Because even if all of our stuff is gone and the property's cleaned up and everything, there's still things that people can steal or vandalize. And so I think that if somebody was here.
Oh, was talking about the house stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's depending on when Krista gets here and we talk to her, how that's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see, because all it needs, I mean, it's all fine, everything's good. All it really needs is
it needs to be made pretty.
The interior walls done.
So we need sheetrock and we need paint, and that's really it.
Yeah.
We have all the lighting, we have all the plumbing, we need insulation.
I done an add-on in the back of the house 2 years ago.
I guess it has been 2 years ago.
It don't have any insulation in it. So it's just our laundry room. It ain't a big deal.
And the bathroom isn't insulated either.
We've just got to put some insulation in a few spots and put up some sheetrock, or however we're going to finish out the inside of the house. 100% livable the way it is. It's just not pretty. Yeah. So
if you look at our other videos, like from when we're doing live streams inside, you can see the foam insulation, and on part of the wall, Michael, the 18-year-old that lives here, he's our kid.
Yeah, he lives here.
Yeah, I make him sound like he's a stranger or something. He's a kid. He's one of our kids. But while we were at work one day, Michael took some old wood fence panels off of a privacy fence and put them up on the wall. And so that's really the only kind of interior walls that we have. And it's only like a partial one wall. The rest of it's insulation. However, if you guys go over to Drew's channel at Drew's Lens, if you want to see, if you want a tour of our place and our house and stuff like that, Drew did a really good video with us last July, I think it was. And the video is called feeding 1,000 bellies, or feeding 1,000 bellies, or 100 bellies. I don't remember what it was, but it's something like that. If you go back to July of last year, he did a video, and I think the thumbnail is of him and Lindsay sitting on the hood of a school bus that they bought. So
hi, Tish.
Yeah, hey, Tish. And then we also didn't say hello to Pontoon Jody Catfishing, your new face.
Oh,
Welcome.
hey, no, I follow Pontoon Jody.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Virginia Alexander.
Oh, hi, Virginia.
Yeah. Hi, Virginia. I'm trying not to miss anybody. We're not used to having this many people in our live stream.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we're sitting here having a hard time at 54. Could you imagine being one of those bigger channels and having like 700?
Oh my God, or thousands of people? Like, there's no way you can keep up.
You would almost just have to turn the comments off. I don't even know how you could do that.
I think that's why a lot of the larger channels now have gone to doing their like daily talk show type thing instead of doing a live stream. That way people can leave comments and nobody feels left out.
Have any teardowns coming up? Tear downs of what?
Yeah. Because it could be house, it could be car,
Yeah.
it could be
It's
engines.
you
it could
never know
be-
what I'm
yeah.
going to be doing.
Yeah.
See, if you haven't seen it yet, any of you guys that are mechanically inclined need to go to my channel and watch my latest short I posted. Guys, I have no idea how that happened. I mean, I do now, but that was the most weird thing I've ever seen in my life whenever it first happened. And I recorded it and put it on a short. So I guess just to let you know, I have a little gas welder that we're working on getting this sawmill trailer built, and I have a gas welder, and it keeps burning the points up, so I have to take the distributor cap off and file the points, and then put the distributor cap back on, and to get it running. Well, I had the distributor cap off of the distributor, filed the points, and I reach over and hit the starter button to see if it was going to spark, if it was going to have the fire it needed. And it started with no distributor cap on the distributor.
Not only did it start, it ran.
It sat there and ran with no distributor cap. Guys, I don't know how it ever happened. But it's
crazy.
I've got video evidence. Go to my channel and check it out. It blows me away.
It's nuts. So there's some more people that came in here while you were talking. Tish, hi. I don't remember if we said hello to you or not. Jean, hello. Dot Roper, hello. Let's see, Don Lee, hey.
Our new land, Devin and Ryan.
Oh, hey guys.
Hi, guys.
How y'all doing? Have y'all done your episode with Tish yet? Have y'all talked to Tish over at No Judgment yet about y'all's adoption story? Y'all's story is so captivating.
That is, yes. That is going to be awesome.
Oh, James said he saw it.
Oh,
yeah,
did he?
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing I've ever had happen to me, James. Craziest thing I've ever had happen.
So now that I've said hello to everybody, I think I'm gonna go through here and look for questions. Seems strange to not seeing you guys serving at the church on Wednesday. I know.
He said not yet, but it's going to happen.
It has been weird. What? Oh, okay.
Devin
okay.
or Ryan, whichever one it is, said not yet. I think it's Devin is the one that usually does it, ain't it?
Yeah.
Said not yet, but it's definitely going to happen.
James said fencing, houses, any materials that you can repurpose. That's what we do here.
That's exactly what we do here.
It usually ends up with our stuff looking a little less. I mean, let's just say that our chicken coops and stuff don't have any curb appeal. But they do hold our chickens in, and they do keep predators out, and that's all that matters. So
a lot
we
of
reuse a lot of stuff.
That's the bad thing about our whole situation is we have so much stuff we need to move because of, just stuff we need.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have so much stuff here that we could take and repurpose. But I'm just not sure how that's going to happen.
It's going to be hard to sort through all of it. So Rach asked, what are we going to do about water and utilities on our new land? You want to talk about that?
I think, what Trish just say?
I don't know. I'm not there. But answer Rach's question because it was a while ago.
Say it again.
So what are we going to do about water and utilities on our
land? So on the front of the property, there is a power line already going across, and there is water line coming up to the front of the property. For a while, we're probably going to be off grid till we get the finances to where we can get the power and the water brought into the property.
If we don't just decide to stay off grid.
Yeah, if we don't decide to stay off grid, we may do that.
Because Mama V over at Possum Run Homestead, I don't know if she's actually had her well drilled yet. She was on the schedule to have it done last time I heard. So, and it wasn't really that bad. Like, the price was reasonable, I feel. And I would much rather have a well than be on city or county water. So we might go that route. And when we took a trip to California in December to visit my dad gave us several solar panels. Hey, Donna, how's it going? And so my dad had some solar panels that he gave us, and then we have some other stuff for solar. And so I think as far as solar stuff goes, we're covered except the batteries.
So my cousin that has the salvage yard over in Seminole, if you watch us at all, you've heard of him because we get a lot of stuff from him. He had bought a RV conversion motorhome. It was like a church bus, big fiberglass body church bus. Somebody had converted it into an RV, and it's got the solar system completely on it. Everything is on it. But they wrecked it. Somebody pulled the motor out of it, but everything is there that we need for the solar. So
even an air conditioner.
It's even got a specific air conditioner built for a solar system. I've never seen one.
Yeah,
so,
it's weird.
So it's got an air conditioner that's built for the solar. And we've got everything to do solar. And so that's going to be our first. And if we make that work, that's probably the way we're going to stay.
That's how I grew up. Well, actually, solar wasn't really a thing when I was growing up, but I grew up off grid in the mountains of Northern California. So this is not my first rodeo.
So it was just, you had 7 to 8 o'clock is when the generator was running. That's when you got your things done.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to watch TV when the generator was on, when my parents, like my dad would turn it on Saturday morning so we could watch cartoons. But I think that's just because he liked watching the cartoons too. But other than that, we didn't have electricity.
So there was another question that was just asked, and I can't remember what it was.
What kind of service projects do you hope to accomplish in your new area?
If you are talking about our
community service,
our ministry or community service stuff, it is going to change because I don't think that the homeless population or that demographic of people is as big there as what it is here. So we're going to find like elderlies, vets,
single parents,
kids.
Or something.
So we're going to do more of like helping
individuals.
Yeah, impacting more individuals and doing stuff for, getting kids ready for school. If an elderly person needs a wheelchair ramp built, if, they might need a little bit of roof happening, fixed if they're having issues. It's that stuff's going to change a lot, but we're still going to do it. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, one of our biggest reasons on deciding to make this move is we've talked to numerous of our family over there, and they want to get involved also. So
they also have ideas about things that we can do to make our community, as far as like our geographical community, not just between each other, but our town, our county. We have talked, it gives me goosebumps every time we talk about it, but we've had multiple conversations about different ways that we can help our communities be a better place. And Melanie over at Simple Life Reclaimed wants to do something like a school supply drive, which I think is fantastic. Yeah. I actually was organizing a school supply drive the year COVID hit and all the kids were out of school. So that kind of threw, but I had already planned it all and had it. I just was waiting to set out my donation boxes and promote it. And so I think that that's a really good idea, because the county that we're going to be moving to is kind of a rural county, which means that, it's not a real, it's kind of a poor community. So there's the median income is pretty low. So
not only do I think, our
bye Tish, it's
going to change a little bit what we do, but I think it's going to grow tremendously because of where we're going and some of the other people we have that's going to get involved, right, that want to get involved. So I think we're going to grow a lot. And I think that's really what calling us over there.
And many of you guys watch the family channels, and you can see how much they love helping each other.
Yeah.
Because they're always, going from one person's house to another and helping them with this project or that project, or giving them materials, or just supporting them when they need it, however, whatever. But we really want to see that expand out into
the community.
The community, not just the family, but the whole community. Hey, Roberta.
Donna asked, I think she asked something just a minute ago.
She asked how we're doing, I think.
No, she had a...
Did she?
I don't know where...
Sorry if I missed.
Yeah, we've been
guys.
talking so much. Maybe this is it.
Yeah, she said it makes you appreciate it so much more. Kids today don't know what it's like to only be able to watch cartoons on Saturdays.
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Is
thinking.
anyone taking over the meals where you were? The church that we serve at does a sack lunch 5 days a week. And since we have not been serving on Wednesdays, the Homeless Resource Center, there have been other organizations step forward to cover that spot while we weren't able to.
Yep.
Or while we haven't been able to. So we're gonna make an actual video about
Hi, Jen.
with more details about our community service stuff and our Feeding the Hungry program. And that'll probably come out tomorrow or Friday.
Yep.
It'll be before the weekend, but we are a registered nonprofit, guys, and so we do have to answer to a board of directors.
Yep.
It's not just what we think or how we feel. Nonprofits have to be run by a group of people. So we'll be coming out with some information on that. With you being a nonprofit organization, you can get donations from corporations for school supplies with their company logos on them.
Absolutely.
And if we find an old vet whose roof is leaking, being a nonprofit, we could request donations from roofing companies or from like hardware or like the big box stores and get the materials donated that we need to fix that person's roof or build them a wheelchair ramp or whatever. So there's definitely lots of room for opportunity.
Yep.
And I think that once we get there and get settled, everybody can kind of keep their ear to the ground, and we'll just serve the community when needs arise.
Yep.
Everybody can just kind of keep their ear to the ground, and when they hear of somebody needing something, we can come together and make that happen. Let's see. I am sorry if we've missed anything. I've been trying to, let's see. Rach said you can make flyers and pass them out to the senior centers. You could pass out the flyers on the senior citizen bus. They ready ride my sister encounter so many elderly people that need help. There are so many elderly people that need help, and they're kind of like stuck in a hard place, because there's a lot of help out there for families. But I feel like there's not so much out there for elderly people, and even elderly people that qualify for government assistance. It's not like they get a whole lot. Wiley's mom, for instance, she gets like $500 a month on Social Security.
That's what she has to live on.
She's expected to pay rent and utilities and buy all of her toilet paper and everything that costs money on $500 a month. And she might get $100 a month in food stamps. And $100, you can't go to the grocery store these days without spending $100.
Yeah.
And that ain't going to go very far. So, even elderly folks that qualify for assistance, they don't really, I don't understand how you can survive on $500 a month.
No. My mom, if it wasn't for my aunt, she just moved in with my aunt. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know how my mom would be surviving.
No. She would end up having, we gave her the option of moving here too. We bought a shipping container and we were going to convert it into a little like studio apartment or whatever for her. But she ended up going with his aunt. But if she didn't have family that was willing to let her stay at their house, her only option would be to live in a nursing home.
Yeah.
And they will take all of her entire paycheck. So if she needs, and I know this from experience, from somebody else that I've helped work with in a nursing home, she needed adult diapers, and that's not something the nursing home would provide.
Right.
If she wanted, she smoked, which is bad for you, but the nursing home literally left her with $5 a month.
Yeah.
And her adult diapers were, would probably cost her about $300 a month if she needed it. And so she just had to go without. And so she was constantly having problems and, because she didn't have what she needed. And so nursing homes aren't always the best situation.
No, they're not.
Especially when you don't make a lot of money. Like, I think that high-end nursing homes where you're paying a few $1,000s a month to to live there. It might be a better situation where there's activities and stuff. I see those commercials on TV all the time. But when you're poor and you end up in one of these other ones, you don't really get taken care of very well. Yeah, exactly. James said absolutely. How do elderly people and people on disability live on that?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
His mom was renting a house, but she'd been there for a long time, and even through all the COVID stuff, her renter never raised her landlord never raised her rent. But he got to a point where he just didn't want to deal with it anymore because she was having problems with the house, and he was having to pay plumbers to come over and fix it, and Well,
not only that, but her landlord was almost 90 years old.
Oh, I
mean,
didn't know that.
So he was ready just to get out of it, and so he just put it up for sale and sold it, and so she had to move, and we was trying to rush around, like she said, and build her a little tiny home out here, but she wound up deciding to go live with my aunt, and which she's probably better off for it. I mean,
yeah.
And anyway.
Yeah, especially now because I don't think she could live off grid.
Yeah, no.
So Virginia said, being elderly myself, I appreciate what you're doing. Income is definitely less than when I worked. So, the elderly is going to be one of our main focus when we move, because they're the elderly are one of our most vulnerable populations. And then, vets, we want to help vets that fall through the cracks of the VA system because it's not perfect, and kids, and families, and I don't think that that's necessarily in any certain order either. I think
I don't.
It's just whatever. I mean, and it could be a two parent household, and if we feel like God's leading us to help them, we're still going to help them anyway.
Yep.
We're not gonna discriminate against anybody for anything. So, nursing homes definitely are not the way to go. I told my family if they put me in one, I'd come back to haunt them. Yes.
My mom told me that multiple times.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is the most people we've ever had in a live stream ever.
So we've got, I think we're going to get rid of most of our animals. I think she is really wanting to keep the pigs. I'm not. I haven't really liked the pigs since we got them.
They're coons, and I love them so much.
They are great pigs, though. They stay right here in the yard. They're free range. They never go anywhere. They never tear anything. Well, okay, yes, they do tear some things up, because if something's in their way, they're not going to go around it. They're going to knock it over to go that way.
I wish we had the camera rolling, because it's been a few weeks ago, but Hunter has just one of those cheap barbecue grills from Walmart. They're the little like square ones with the skinny legs, and they're just real cheap. And the pig was walking through the yard, and he didn't want to go around it, so he went under it, and he's big enough that once he got all the way underneath it, he lifted it up, and he carried it probably 10 or 15 foot, and then just set it back down and kept going.
And my benches and things like that sitting out here in the yard, they just push them out of the way whenever they want to go by them. They will not. Whenever they leave point A to go to point B, it don't matter what's in between them, they're moving it.
Yeah, right. And if it's a car, they'll just squeal. Like if they yell loud enough, it'll move.
Yeah.
Like they're ridiculous, but I love them. Thank you, Jody. She wants to remind everybody to hit that like button. We've got 61 people, and it's showing 50 thumbs up.
Yep.
So that's pretty awesome. Lori said that her monthly income on disability is less than what she made in 2 weeks working.
Yeah, that's with my mom. My mom worked all my life growing up. It's been the last probably 15 years she hasn't had a job, and which she's been on disability or whatever since what is it? Not disability, Social Security. And that's I guarantee you she made what she's getting on her Social Security check, she probably made in a week whenever she was working.
Yeah.
She was the what do you call it?
The cook or
head dietitian.
Dietitian, yeah.
At one of the big nursing homes here in Shawnee.
Thanks, Trish. She also reminded everybody to hit that like button. Yeah, Roberta, it probably would have gone viral. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Dawn said we should call that pig bulldozer.
Yeah. Right.
He,
I don't know.
let's see.
Ah,
My ex makes $800 a month, no food stamps. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's. I think Mom's is like $5.15 a month, and then she gets maybe 100, maybe 120 in food stamps.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not. There's no way that you could live off that without a little bit of help. I just don't see it anyway. And so luckily Mom and Dad's not together. It's a weird thing, but
they pretty much live together.
So Dad lives in a travel trailer in their front yard. And so, with everybody together, they're able to take care of each other, and it makes it work out good.
Yeah. Junk to Gems. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Do you have something for the nonprofit to be established in a new state? We are federally recognized. So we may have to file with the state of Arkansas as a registered nonprofit. But for a while, we're going to maintain our Oklahoma residency.
Until we get fully established over there, we're still going to be Oklahoma residents.
So we have a while to figure that out. But I know in Oklahoma, to file for a nonprofit, it's $25.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it's not a big deal.
But being since it's already filed through the federal stuff, it's it's already, no matter where we go, it's going to be recognized federally.
Yeah.
It's just to register with the state is not a big deal.
Once we start getting to a point where we are asking about asking for donations or sponsorships to be able to help people in Arkansas, I suspect we'll probably need to make sure that we are registered in Arkansas so that they can get a tax break on their state taxes also. But that's a little ways down the road. So, and it's an easy, I say it was really easy to do here in Oklahoma. We already have all the paperwork and everything that Oklahoma requires. I don't know what those requirements are in Arkansas. Is Junk to Gems Gary? I may not have known his name.
Yeah.
I just started seeing him commenting on our stuff.
You think the house you're in will sell quickly? Well, Jan, that's what we had just mentioned earlier. I'm not even sure that we're going to try to sell it yet. I think we're going to try to rent it out just to keep, I think I don't know how to say it, with somebody in it, it's going to be, what am I trying to say? It's going to be a lot better than just letting it sit empty.
Yeah.
And we really don't want to sell this place if we don't absolutely have to. So I think we're just going to have a renter come in for a while. And and then we'll just deal with it from there. We'll, where we get to where we need to be.
Yeah. We live really minimally, and we have incurred a little bit of debt over the last 2 years or whatever that we'd like to pay down before we actually move to Arkansas. That way we don't have a bunch of bills.
So really, but it's not much.
But
we've got, we financed the tractor, and we've got a couple of credit cards that, because of what we do, because of feeding the hungry and everything, and
not always having enough money to do it, we've maxed out
a couple credit cards. So yeah, trying to get that taken care of is going to be one of the things one of the loose ends we got to tie up before all this goes on.
Tammy Wiley's mom is on that program, so she gets all that help. The other person that I was talking about, for whatever reason,
it's Mary today, but it's Gary is here.
Oh, so yeah, it really is useful, and they deliver meals and all kinds of stuff like that. She has been on housing before, and that's what they call it here when your rent is based on your income. But I don't remember why she said that wasn't a good idea. Plus, our housing list is super long right now.
So it's like a year and a half wait to even get into a house here.
Yeah.
Well, hi, Mary.
Hey, RNF. Let's see. RNF Firestone Chickens. Hi.
Oh,
how are you?
hi.
I was trying to read it on my phone and it was too small. And then Tamara with Dink and Tank.
Hi, Tamara. So, we will probably be going, I'm going to say, not this weekend, but maybe next weekend. We'll go down and spend a little bit of time down on the land and make a few more videos probably.
It might be next week or week.
Yeah.
Because the weekend, Emily works, our 14-year-old. She has a job. And so she works Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So it's kind of hard for us to leave on weekends. Plus, I think next weekend, the 5th, is when we're doing your mom's birthday party and Hunter's birthday party. So we can't go. We got to be there for that because we're the organizers of it. So
anyway, within a week or two, we're going to go down, spend a little more time, look things over a little better. I mean, of course, we pretty well got that taken care of. I think, we looked everything over good.
yeah.
I do want to try to walk out the property lines better, just to get an idea of exactly where.
We've marked all the corners.
I've got all the corners marked, but as far as 920 something feet in between the corners, I've got to walk out better and get a little better idea of exactly where our property.
And it's weird because this was all like farmland that was split up into different lots to sell, and so we have a barbed wire fence that goes like right through the middle of our property.
And it starts at the northwest. Let's see, it starts at the southwest corner and goes to the northeast corner, or something like that. One or the other.
It's cockeyed and it goes right through the middle of it, and so it makes it really deceiving. Trying to figure out where everything is, and with how overgrown and thick the underbrush is. When you walk a line, you're more like walking like this because you have to go around trees and you have to find a path to get through. So
yeah, try to get that a little more established. Yeah. Then that's going to give us a better idea exactly where we want to start building.
Yeah, and we're super excited too.
Yeah, super.
We found our our southwest. Yeah, our southwest corner. And it is on a really good hill. Like it's up a pretty darn good slope. It was a hike to get up there.
Yeah.
And but we got up there and there is an amazing view. I won't say it's the most amazing view I've ever had, but I would not be upset at all if I could look out.
So we're hoping we're going to be able to go up higher and do our build. Mm-hmm. That way we have this view. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm not even sure what that's going to entail, but
yeah. So everybody's talking about the like low income housing. James, You're right. He said a lot of times it takes 1 to 2 years to get in.
Yes.
A lot of the unhoused folks that we deal with regularly, have housing vouchers, but they can't find,
landlords that'll accept the housing vouchers.
Right. There is a serious problem with finding affordable housing. So it just is not there. And,
so around here, there is a lot of affordable housing, but the people refuse to take
housing vouchers, right?
A third party payment is what they're calling it. Mm-hmm. They're refusing to take a third party payment. So, the housing vouchers, the housing thing, if they won't accept, I don't know, I guess that's the state, right?
And the state has to approve the house too. So the state has to, because it has to be a safe place for somebody to live. So the landlord has to jump through a bunch of hoops to become approved through the state. And unfortunately, a stigma with low-income people is that they don't take care of the property. And that isn't true for everybody. There are a lot of low-income people out there that are grateful and respect the house that they live in and are just good people. But, and this goes for any walk of life or any demographic. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you're a slob, you're a slob, And it just is sad because the whole one bad apple spoils the
Yeah.
bunch, you know? And so it's like there's a couple people that trashed this house, and now that landlord no longer wants to do Section 8 housing, low income housing, because they've been screwed a couple times. And, you know, we remodel houses. We've had to repair a lot of that work.
Right.
And I don't know if the renters were low income or anything. I know that the houses that we work on generally aren't new or nice, you know.
Hi,
Until we're
Tim.
done with them. But hey, Tim, how's
Thanks.
it going? Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to qualify.
But
for that kind of stuff.
even the ones that have houses, I mean, like I said, they refuse to accept a third party payment, so they won't. Whoever's living in the house has to make the payment, basically. So they're not going to accept a check from the state.
Yeah. Or tribe. Here in Oklahoma, it's a lot of
tribal
stuff. Yeah. But it's kind of the same, I guess. I don't know enough about it to tell you about any differences.
Yeah.
Mike
So
Henderson, hello.
Pam, I seen you had a pretty good write up there that I tried to read, but then you deleted it. So I don't know what that was. Or it got deleted.
How are things on the ridge today, Tim? Are you busy? Are you recovering from your weekend with the family? Looks like y'all had a really good time.
Yep.
Now I want to go to Lake Ouachita because I'm from California, land of clean water. I mean, there's clear water, clear lakes. Not clean water. Let me take that back. Lakes and rivers are pretty clean. And that's something that I've really missed since I've moved here to Oklahoma, because we just have this muddy brown water. Well, it's more like red. Yeah.
Red mud.
So I really want to go swim in a lake where you don't feel like you have to take a bath when you get out.
Tim said, I wish I knew I'm at work.
Oh. Dang. We've been on here for almost an hour already.
Yeah, and somebody, what was it? I was trying to read and listen, and did you touch on, they said that's really clean water over there at that lake?
I said that. Now
Okay.
I said now I want to go because it's really clean.
Yeah.
I even told the kids about it already, which is probably a mistake because now they're going to be begging to go.
Yeah, and what I say, it's like a 2-hour drive from our land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 5.5 hours from here.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the guineas.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might start hearing them in the background because they're over there by the pond. So, one other thing is when we moved to Arkansas, we want to do an unconventional type home.
I want to do something different for sure.
Yep.
And I really, really, really want it to be underground.
Some sort of earth type home. We're looking into like a Hobbit house type thing. We're looking into
Earth ship
homes. Yeah. I'm new to the channel and wonder how you fund the nonprofit and yourselves too. By the grace of God.
It's by the grace of God. Absolutely.
I have no idea. If you look at our financials, our personal financials, you'd probably be like, how the heck? But literally it's by the grace of God. Before we started our nonprofit, I was a letter carrier for the United States Postal Service. I had been doing that for almost a decade, and I got tired of it, y'all. Like, your mail carrier makes that look easy. It is not an easy job, and you really get beat down mentally by the
Hi,
system of, hey, Danimal. You really get, I don't know, all postal employees are not treated good by their employer. So I just got tired of it, and we volunteered one year for Christmas and served the homeless Christmas dinner, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So we felt like God was leading us to quit our jobs and start our nonprofit and do that full time. And that was almost 3 years ago. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, I was reading a comment.
and somehow we've just survived. I quit my job, and then like 5-6 months later, Wiley quit his job. He was a heavy machine operator. So we went from 2 incomes to 1 income to no income within 6 months.
So so as she said earlier, we just do odd jobs. We remodel houses. I work on cars, just lots of different things we do. I'm also a wheeler dealer, if that's what you want to call it. You know, I buy and sell things, mostly cars, but you know, just anything I can get my hands on that I might be able to make a couple extra bucks on. That's what I do.
And we live really minimally. Yeah, that's where the term going postal came from.
Absolutely.
That actually happened in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Edmond, Oklahoma.
And basically, it was the app keeps telling me that we have a heat advisory. Basically, that all came about because of bullying in the workplace.
Yeah.
And it is true. It still happens today. That happened, I want to say, in the 90s or in the early 2000s, maybe. But yeah, that going postal is a term for a reason. And it's basically when you get pushed to your breaking point.
Hi, Daz.
And I never thought about hurting anybody that I worked with. But there weren't a lot of people that I worked with that I actually liked. And finally, I just had enough, and I was like, no. When all the COVID stuff was happening and my kids were out of school so much, it was an easier decision to say, hey, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, because I couldn't be a reliable employee. I had to choose between my kids and my job, and then we volunteered for Christmas, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this solves it all. And then we just had to take that leap of faith, and it has carried us through the last several years. And so, and we continue to rely on that faith. You know, Every time we start feeling like, oh my gosh, how is this going to work? What are we going to do? Some miracle happens.
Something comes up. You know,
and whether that's like we're able to sell something quickly, somebody makes a donation so that we can buy food for a meal that week. There have been so many blessings, and then I bet there's 1,000 more that we haven't even seen happen. People that have been put in our path along our journey.
Right.
Things that we've learned, you know, or even videos that just pop up on YouTube, and we listen to it. We're like, oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I can tell you that we do odd jobs. We live minimally, and we are highly, extremely blessed.
Yes. Very.
That is
very
how
blessed.
we survive. But we do, you know, our house is paid for. The land we live on is paid for. Both of our vehicles are paid for. They're old, but they're ours. You know, we don't have a car payment. The only thing we have financed is our tractor. And somehow, by the grace of God, we got a 0% interest rate on that.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, because neither one of our credit ratings were super high when we bought it. And that's it, really.
Yeah. And then, like you said, I mean, you know, we have had to rely on the credit cards some lately, and it's but other than that, it's just by the grace of God.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Because, you know, when we start running out of money and we're like, oh no, what's going on? Somebody will call us and have a job for us. You know, and it just all works out. But, you know, we're not at all trying to keep up with the Joneses. We don't have the nicest, newest cars. We don't live in a fancy house. We don't wear name brand clothing unless we get it on sale to a thrift store. The only thing that Wiley and I spend a chunk of change on that makes a difference is our boots.
Yeah.
We both have a good pair of work boots. But I don't think that's frivolous at all. That's something that we both learned from working hard, is that you invest in your shoes and they will last you a while. So I can spend $150 on a pair of boots and they'll last me a year and a half. Or I can spend $30 on a pair of shoes and they'll last me a month or two.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Break over, gotta run. Have a great day. Bye.
See you later.
Don't work too hard. Okay, let's see. I've been talking a lot and not reading comments. So let me just read through this real quick. Oh, hey, Daz. We didn't say hi to Daz.
I
either.
said hi to Dad.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I didn't.
He said he's disappointed because he don't see me in a suit and tie all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Daz, you will never see me in a suit and tie, I promise.
And if you do, it's probably going to be like a tuxedo with the sleeves cut off. Wiley,
that's the closest right there. Those bibs are the closest you'll ever see me in a suit.
yeah, we're just a little redneck around here. Let's see. Am I still on track here? I'm trying to read through these comments. Wow. Tamara said that her mom carried mail in the 60s. I bet it's a lot different now than it was in the 60s.
I think I remember her saying that before. I think she's
Yeah.
talked about that before. But yeah, I don't, and I've even gotten lazy lately. Normal when Jen and I first got together, I didn't own a shirt that had a sleeve in it, and I've gotten lazy lately and hadn't even been cutting my sleeves out of my shirts. I don't even know why. But they don't even seem to last long enough anymore to worry about. So
Pam said she was a teacher for 26 years and the faculty were not always nice.
Yeah.
I bet you're glad to not be a teacher in the now, right? Like oh man, I feel bad for teachers these days. I mean, yeah, let's just leave it at. I don't want to get political on here because I don't want you to.
My brother's wife is a special ed teacher here in Edmond, Oklahoma, and so yeah, we know about that too.
James said his uncle and his cousin worked at the post office for 20 years. Man, once you've been there that long and he said they double dip between the military and the post office.
Wow.
And the way that works is because I can't remember exactly the details, so don't quote me on this, but the post office, if you were in the military, that counts towards your time served at the post office. Time served. I say it like it's a sentence. That's what it felt like. But so you get, after you've been there so while, your raises are basically, your pay scale there's a pay scale, and the way you move up is after you've been there for so long. Like at the post office, because it's union, you don't get, and it's government, you don't get paid based on your work quality or your work ethic. To get a raise, it's literally an act of Congress. Congress has to approve a raise for the postal carriers, and it has to be negotiated through contracts, and it's all a big complicated mess. But once you've been at the post office for that long, like, you make really good money. I say that. I don't think you'd make $100K. When I was working there after almost 10 years, I was making $21 an hour, $22 an hour, something like that. But then after you take out all the Social Security and taxes and everything and health insurance and all of that, I should have qualified for food stamps with 4 kids, but I didn't because, they don't count. They use your pre-tax income. So, yeah, but I bet they're living comfortably on retirement from the military and the post office.
Oh yeah.
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 Especially if they I can't remember what the term is, but especially if they were there, because like after 30 years, then you qualify. Well, with the post office, it's actually a special number you have to get to, and it's like it's your age plus your years of service. And so if you've been in the military before you were in the post office, your years of service in the military count towards your years at the post office. So if you've served time in the military, you can retire earlier from the post office than you could if you hadn't served. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
You confused me a long time ago.
Okay, my bad. So yeah, it's complicated. I'm not gonna bore anybody else, but anyway. Let's see. So disappointed. I never see Wiley. Okay, suit all the time. Let's see.
20 years military and 20 years postal. Holy cow.
Dang.
Got a split. So excited for you both. I'm not sure who said that. I didn't catch the name before it disappeared.
Oh, it's James Hall. He lives in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
We'll see you later, James.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
And Jean has to go. Yep. Teresa, hi. How are you? How are you? So glad I got to catch part of your live. I think we're fixing to wrap it up. We've been on here for over an hour.
Yeah, we've been on here over an hour. I don't even know how, but we have.
And if we ever want to move to Arkansas, we got things to do.
Yeah.
Wiley's waiting for this area right over here to get in the shade so he can work on his sawmill, his portable sawmill again.
And hi, Teresa. I didn't say hi to you.
It's really interesting watching this man work, y'all. Because I'm like, okay, what are we doing? So that I try to record what he does, but then he doesn't tell me when he's going to do something.
No, it's not what it is. So last night, she's like, hey, I got to go use the restroom. I'm like, okay.
We had talked about going inside.
I sat out here for 30 minutes, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'm going to get back to work. So I got a whole bunch of stuff done, and she wasn't even out here to record it.
Yeah, so now you guys get to suffer because he didn't want to grab the camera.
Because you wouldn't video me.
Because we talked about going inside and calling it a night. So, this is about as serious as our arguments get, y'all. That's something that I really love about our relationship is that we don't ever argue. If we disagree on stuff, it's usually like disagreeing on what we're having for dinner.
Or disagreeing because you put that nasty stuff in my food. What is it?
Cilantro.
Cilantro, yeah.
Yeah, we disagree on some foods, but like in general, we just don't. She gets Meals on Wheels too, but I can't eat some of the stuff they send me, and I am hooked up on an oxygen all the time, so I can't do my own shopping. So I call a friend to bring me eggs. Yeah. Yeah, and that Meals on Wheels program is really, really great for people that need it. But from my experience with it, which isn't a lot, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not very high quality food. Yeah, it's like the nutritional value isn't there.
That nasty stuff.
And it doesn't taste good. It's all bland and just, it's almost like I don't know. I feel like it's made out of fake food.
Yeah, and is that the same thing Mom gets in the boxes?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's, a lot. She gets Spam. She gets so much Spam. And Spam's not a good meal. I like Spam and I'll eat Spam, but
I'm not a fan.
For an elderly person, it's just not a... And
then, okay, so you take that, and I believe that a lot of our health problems that many people deal with are diet related.
Yeah.
And the medical system doesn't always tell you, well, you need to eat better. They just like, oh, well, I'll just give you a pill for your high blood pressure and for your diabetes. They don't necessarily tell you, like, yeah, full of salt. Exactly. And so people that are suffering from these health conditions are being given all of this food that is making their health conditions worse.
Yeah.
But I understand. It's still a good program. It keeps people alive for the most part, but the nutritional value just isn't there. And I would imagine that organizing some sort of program.
Exactly right, James. I thought you was leaving.
Yeah. I imagine that that it would be really hard to organize some sort of program where you could cater to people based on their diet needs. Because not everybody's going to be the same, but to put out a ton of food like that, it's going to have to all be the same.
Yeah.
You can't specialize it to. You can send one person apple juice and the next person orange juice, but you can't necessarily create this meal with all vegetables and no salt because that person needs it and this person needs a high protein diet, or I would imagine that's hard. But it's all of that processed food is just awful for you.
Bye, James.
Teresa said she's changed her diet since the FF and feeling better.
Yeah. It's. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. So, of course, as a truck driver, I can't even remember who it was said there was a truck driver on here a while ago. Was it James?
James, I think James said he's a truck driver. Yeah.
Of course, being a truck driver, you have an awful diet, and whenever I come in off the road, well, I quit driving a truck about 7 years before I met Jenn. And but I was a wrecker driver after that, so I managed a wrecker company here, and it's pretty much the same. You don't ever have time to sit down and eat real food, good food.
And I mean, and another thing Wiley's pointed out to me about that is that if you did have the time, like there's not a lot of places you can take a big truck, so you're really limited. You can't drive into town to go to this restaurant that has really great salad. You know, you got to stick to where you can get your truck at. So
yeah.
And
so since we've been together, you know, Jenn cooks real food, and she's got, you know, whenever I cook, of course I cook the same stuff she does because that's what we have to cook. But so, you know, here eating, I can tell that the way I feel and everything is just way better than it used to be because of the way we eat.
Although lately we've been eating a lot of sandwiches with processed sandwich meat because it's just
too much on the go.
Yeah, we're just on the go a lot lately, and we can definitely feel it. Like
Thank you, Teresa.
I definitely have less energy. My blood pressure has been spiking. And it's not good at all. So
yeah,
we try to stick to whole foods as much as we can, and not buy. We don't buy hardly anything in a box or a bag or a can.
Yeah, no. And when we buy sugar, it's the
all natural
pure
cane sugar.
Pure cane sugar. We try to keep all that stuff, you know, good in our house, but I know I can tell a huge difference eating real food, eating real meals.
Mm-hmm. So the problem is it's so good that we overeat. And that's why we're so fat.
See, I was like, woohoo, I'm going to get to eat real food. Jenn's cooking this stuff for me like this.
And he's like, and it's so good.
I'm going to lose weight.
And he's like, give me a third plate.
Yeah. Because now it's too good and I can't stop eating.
Yeah, there's so many times. And now the kids are even learning to cook good.
Yeah.
So we've been working with the kids for the last couple of years, especially the older ones, about cooking. So we take turns throughout the week where we each prepare a meal. And so they can make, like, I bet if you gave my kids a box of macaroni and cheese, they'd mess it up.
Yeah, they wouldn't know how to cook.
But they can make you the best biscuits and gravy from scratch you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
So, which is something that makes me very proud, Mama, that my kids can actually cook. Because there's full-grown adults out there that don't know how to make a basic gravy.
Yeah. Emily is spot on.
Yeah, she is.
Oh man.
Yeah. And she makes it sometimes with hamburger meat instead of sausage, and it's still really good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not getting all the messages on here. It somehow moved back to top messages instead of all messages. So everybody's agreeing that T. McD said our stomach is our second brain that runs our body functions. Right. And you know, when the way I look at it is, you think of a car, and if you put sugar in your gas tank, it ain't gonna go very far. You know, and sugar does kind of the same thing to your gut. And I can attest to this, but at the same time, I still eat sugar.
Yeah.
And I still eat things that have sugar. It is so hard to get away from processed foods. And someone else said that.
Hi, Nate.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Hey, Nate. Dad said that the dogs are barking at the kangaroos. Is that what he said?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dog barking at kangaroos in the dark. Hey, Rochelle, how are you? Yeah, the better you eat, the better you feel.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's
the more energy you have.
The point, the point she gets across with what you're putting in your gas tank. I mean, your car is designed to run off of a specific kind of fuel. Your body is designed to run off of a different kind of fuel, or a certain kind of fuel.
Right.
And if you're putting stuff in there that's not supposed to be in there, it's not going to run correctly.
Like all these ingredients that you can't even pronounce.
Yeah.
You know, sugar has 50 different names, and there might be 10 different kinds of sugar in what you're eating, but none of them are called sugar. So then the box says 0 sugar, but then it's got all these 15 ingredients that are sugar. Just modified, and they changed the name of it. And
So
it's
last
awful.
year, I wanted to deep fry, or what do you call it? Deep fry, I guess, a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And we was at Sam's Club. And so I was like, hey, I want to get some of this peanut oil because I want to deep fry turkey, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Jen was like, well, let me look at it. And there was a word on there that she couldn't pronounce, so she looked it up. Plastic.
There's plastic.
There's
in cooking oil.
plastic in your freaking peanut oil.
Silicone, actually.
Silicone, yeah.
It was
Silicone. Yeah, sorry. Silicone in your peanut oil.
And you know why? When I Googled it, it said it was to help it not boil. No, not bubble, not splash.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it splash and just be careful instead of eating silicone.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I don't.
It's bad.
So she wouldn't let me. Anyway, she wouldn't let me buy any peanut oil, so I didn't get a fried turkey that year.
I think Brian did an air fried turkey, didn't he?
Yeah, he done an air fried turkey. But that's not a deep fried turkey.
I know. Speaking of cars, I'm finally going to look for a car this weekend. Tired of being stuck at home. Yeah, being stranded is awful. Awful.
Yeah.
Yes, and Teresa, it was I want to say it was Wesson. Maybe it wasn't. It was one of the big name brands of oil.
It may have just been the Members Mark. I don't remember, but it was a fairly common one that you're going to find around, and it's got silicone in it. Matter of fact, we went through about 4 more different ones, and every one of them had it in there.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't find any at Sam's Club that did not have silicone in it.
Yeah. So we primarily cook with olive oil. Sometimes we use sunflower oil and coconut oil.
And you've really got to watch what kind of olive oil you buy.
Right. Because we were seeing something about how all this extra virgin olive oil isn't really extra virgin.
Yeah.
And it might not even be olive oil. It might be some other oil that you don't want to eat. It's our food system is really, really screwed up.
Yeah. Badly.
Don't get me talking too much about it because I'll get canceled on YouTube for what I gotta say. I just gotta say that I can be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist sometimes.
Well, guys, if I keep letting her talk, we're going to be here all day. And I can't be here all day because I've got work to do. So we have got to get off here so I can get over here and get to work.
And I'm going to have to be right there to record him. Otherwise, you guys won't get to see what he's doing. Because he does not record stuff on his own. And generally, he does projects when I'm not looking. And then I come back and I'm like, you should have recorded that. And he's like, oh, I didn't feel like it because I don't want to move the camera around.
No, it's if I take the time to go get a camera, then I'm not going to feel like continuing what I'm doing. But anyway, guys, we love y'all. We're glad y'all hung out with us all day or all this time. And we got to get off here so I can get to work. We've got a lot to do. And
yes, Trish, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. It's bad. It makes me feel like I can't eat anything at the grocery store. Like, even the fresh apples and stuff and fresh fruit is...
They actually say the fresh fruit is one of the worst things for you. You can buy from a grocery store.
Wiley was watching something not too long ago about how there was so much pesticides in strawberries that you could literally emulsify your strawberries
and use it as a pesticide.
And you can use it as a pesticide.
Yeah.
It's awful. And they say that it doesn't hurt us. I don't know. Yeah, we need to get off here before I get canceled on YouTube. They're gonna censor me if I keep.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Too deep into this. Yeah.
We're gonna get off here.
Bye. We love you guys. Thank you so much.